Yeah, thanks, Pete. Hi, Johnny. It's good to see you again.
Hi, Mark.
Before I talk to you about the England game, can I just ask you your reaction when you heard the news that a man who's slightly younger than you was announced that he was hanging up his boots? CJ Sanders said he was finishing at the end of the season. But your reaction when you heard that?
Yeah, shocked. Didn't see it coming. They called me into a meeting yesterday morning, him and Faz, and it was the last thing that I thought I was getting called in for. Literally, if you gave me 1,000 things to guess, it wouldn't have even registered on it. But look, he's done things for the right reason. His wife and daughter are back in South Africa at the moment. They've been there for a few months, and they went back for the last lockdown as well. So it takes its toll, doesn't it? And he's just taken the decision based on family reasons, and we respect him for that. But he's a big loss to Munster and Irish rugby. He's been huge for both teams over the last 5-6 years. You know what I mean? So very shocked. But we wish him well, and we hope that his last game in green will be one to remember.
Just moving away from that, in terms of the game on Saturday against England, they seem to have found some good form last week against France. So from their point of view, it looks as if they're coming into form at the right time.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch. We all enjoyed watching it. I think it was one of the best test matches over the last year or two. It was brilliant from both sides. So they'll be obviously very happy with their performance and their win. And but we know that they're a top quality side, and test match rugby, the margins are so small. The games that they lost, I know that the Wales game ended up getting away from them, but it comes down to the last 10 minutes. It's all level, same against Scotland, the one-score game. So they're not far off the team that they obviously got to a World Cup final, won the championship last year. So we have huge respect for them. We haven't managed to get a win over them over the last number of times, and we've learned some lessons along the way, and hopefully we can put in a better performance on Saturday against them.
Thanks very much. Have a good week, mate.
Thanks.
Johnny, just going back to CJ again, what in particular set him apart as a teammate?
He's a great person first and foremost. That's you can't be a good teammate without being a good lad. Very popular in the group, and then just his work ethic. I think I can't ever remember him missing a game. Maybe through suspension after his red card against South Africa, but in terms of being injured, I can't remember. Maybe you guys will tell me a game he did miss, but I can't remember one. So just his relentless attitude, his preparation, how tough he was. I've played against him numerous times. I've been on the receiving end of a few carries, and he's got the utmost respect of anyone that's played with or against him, I think. And ultimately, when you finish up, that's what you want, really, isn't it? Obviously, as a player, you want to win things, but I think the older you get, the more you realise you just want, your own teammates first and foremost to respect you, and then, for the opposition to think, he's a good player, and I'm pretty sure he's achieved that.
And as you said there, as if you didn't have motivation enough for National Day, this kind of went to the pot as well. As you say, look, you've got to help them sign off, perhaps with a win against England.
Yeah, I think that's, in fairness to CJ, that's why he wanted to announce it early. He wanted to get it out of the way, because he's a team guy, and he wanted then to just concentrate on his performance, but at the same time he wanted to sort of do it the right way and announce it before his last game rather than just walking away. And I think that was the right thing to do. And look, like I said, he'll be a big loss. He's contributed so much over the number of years that he's been here, and like I said, we wish him well, and it's for the right reasons.
Johnny, how's it going? How are things?
Good, thanks.
Just in terms of the challenge, what awaits you as well. But tough news for you guys yesterday. I suppose you might have known that it was coming with Gary and James being ruled out, but good to have the likes of someone like Peter O'Mahony back in the squad. He's performed for you guys so many times over the years.
Yeah, it's great. Pete's back from his suspension, and he's been with the group, last week and bits the week before, just staying in contact and making sure he's up to date with all the lineouts and plays and all that. So he'll be able to, be in the mix for selection. We've got a short week this week, obviously having played Sunday, and need to get the recovery right. So we're only going to have one, big pitch session this week. But Pete, with his experience and the good form that he had before his suspension, will be able to fit back in. If selected, I'm obviously not picking the team, so it'll be up to the coaches. But he was in good form before his suspension, and hopefully he can take off from there.
Just kind of thinking of one of your guys who's just been consistently good for the championship, Ian Henderson. It's considering where you kind of started the championship for you guys, happened to come on when James kind of got the head knock. He's kind of really had a great championship for you guys, hasn't he?
Yeah, considering he was out for so long before it, it was a race for him to get fit for the Six Nations. It was I suppose 8 weeks between the Autumn Nations Cup when he picked up the injury, and the injury he had was, he cut that recovery time down, which was all credit to him. Did all the hard work, and he's reaping the rewards now with some good form. And we're going to need him again on Saturday with James being ruled out. He'll be taking a bigger onus on the line out as well. So he's been brilliant for us, like he has been for a long time. And once his body has been good and he's been able to stay fit, he's been outstanding.
And just the last one for me is James Lowe's came in, he was 11 weeks out before he came into the mix for the Six Nations, so it was a tough ask for him to kind of come in and hit the ground running. But Gary Ringrose spoke very well about him after the game as well. But you've played with him over the last 3.5 years. He's capable of kind of stepping up in big games when it's required. But there is a bit of pressure on him, isn't there?
Yeah, and it is a big ask to be out of the game for that long and to come back. You don't get, normally when you have a summer of pre-season, you get whether it's a couple of Pro 14 games and then a step up into European Cup rugby and then another big step up into international rugby. That's normally what you get. But for James, he just went from a long layoff into international rugby, and when you're not used to that, I think if you have experience of, he's very new to the international game, maybe he hasn't been able to find his best form. But sometimes when you're on the wing or you're a fullback or you're in those wide channels and you make a mistake, it's you pay the price pretty quickly, and your mistakes are often more highlighted than other guys that might make a similar error closer into the ruck, because guys can pick up the pieces. So look, James has been outstanding since he's come to Leinster. He was brilliant for Ireland in his first few games, and he's done some great things as well with ball in hand over things. But he's got a couple of fix-ups that he's always working on. We come into camp and we're always working on parts of our games. You're working on your strengths, but you're also working on your weaknesses, and he'll bounce back from a couple of errors. I'm sure of it. He's a good character and he's got a real growth mindset, so he'll use it as a chance to get better.
Cheers.
The last couple there in the line section.
Yeah, Mark, come in there. Johnny, considering, I suppose, the winning streak that England are on at the moment and the nature of those defeats that Ireland have suffered against England, is there any kind of scars remaining from those defeats going into this weekend's game?
I suppose each game, there was a few differences, especially in the last game we played against them. We felt in a few games they really dominated us physically. I think we massively stepped up in that last game against them. I don't think you could say that we were out-muscled, but we lacked the rootless streak, and we didn't take some of the chances that we created. And so each game has been different. You know what I mean? They're a top quality team. So it's you're gonna have to play really well to get a result against them. You're gonna have to. Probably for us, we're going to have to pull out our best performance of the season. So, but that's a great challenge, isn't it? We feel that we can do it. We feel that we've been shown in glimpses. I keep saying it every week, but we're showing some good things, and we're just paying the price for some lapses at the moment. And we need to make sure that we can to just be better, just to keep improving. And like I said, if we can put in our best performance of the season, we'll test them.
Okay, folks, we're going to shift on now to the embargoed written section.